Nice.
That was good.
Nice.
That was actually a fucking banger one.
You doing this intro? Am I?
No, you got
Welcome to the 27th episode of Bros Park, guys. It's
Yes.
another beautiful day in the park.
another
BEA
beautiful
beautiful day.
There you
You're
go.
welcomed by yours truly, Jeff. And
as always, Colin. And today we have a
you know, like,
what?
you know what we're gonna talk about today?
What are we talking about today?
Because we talked about like our animes,
Yes.
our top anime list.
Yes,
Colin had Evangelion in it,
I did.
and that got me thinking.
It is
You
up
know
there.
what? I don't really remember much of what happened in Evangelion. Like, I know the story's like super rich, complex, deep, twisted, distorted. Everything you can name under the sun. Pretty
Whatever
gross.
adjective you got, yeah.
Pretty, like, you know, it has gore. It's got like
Yep.
Shinji goddamn splooging.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty wild.
And that's
So,
including the movie.
yeah. So I rewatched the anime series of
Mhm.
it, like the 1990,
90s. Yeah.
91, and the movie that came up after that,
End of Evangelion. Yep.
the end of Evangelion.
Yep.
Fucking, I watched that in the span of 3 or 4 days. shit is kind of crazy, man.
Yeah. You just
Like,
fucking binged it.
So like, I just want to talk about that because like, that's Colin's top anime,
Yep.
one of his top anime.
it's one of my
and I just
top
want to
anime for
rewatch
sure.
it just to, you know, remember everything.
Mm-hmm. No, I get that because you told me that these anime were really good, like Apothecary Diaries and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And I did not give a shit.
Mhm.
So we're gonna talk about Evangelion.
but I just gotta say, like, man, that the old school animation just
Mhm.
it's nice.
Did you watch sub or dub?
I actually watched dub for this one.
I like the old school dub.
Yeah,
I think it was good.
the dub for this was good because I watched sub in the beginning,
Yep.
but then like I didn't want to like read. Like
Okay,
this
yeah.
time, like because I've already watched Evangelion.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to read it.
It was a side monitor watch.
So
Yeah.
I was comparing sub and dub. I'm like, the dub's actually not that bad.
The dub's pretty good for like being that old, where usually the older dubs kind of fall flat a bit.
Older dubs are like Godzilla dubs. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's Godzilla.
Yeah, it's so good. But this one was actually no sarcasm good. I really like Shinji's voice. I like
Everybody's voice was good into it.
yeah, I was gonna say Mikasa. It's not Mikasa. Masato's voice.
Yep.
Um,
Asuka's
Asuka,
voice was so annoying, but then she's supposed to be like
she's
a bratty little
supposed to be
girl.
a bratty
But then
bitch, yeah.
she spoke German. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Good for you.
She did fucking rip that out. I mean, she is German, Asuka Lange Yuki.
Yeah,
I mean,
but like the voice
yeah.
actress like did German. I'm like, oh
Mhm.
god damn. But anyways,
I wonder if it's actually good German. Like, you know, German speaker will be like, nah, that's
sound
fucking
like
shit.
good German to me.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed the dub.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just get into it. I feel like overarching, one of the most complicated stories, as we've talked about.
Yep.
It's so overdeveloped, like in terms of everything going on.
Yeah, and there's so much going on in it, story wise, complex wise,
Yep.
that like the anime can't get into.
No.
So like you gotta like actually like research it.
Yeah.
There's only so much like a 22-minute episode can give you.
Yeah, and I think for that reason, it's hard for somebody that doesn't want to watch more of it, because I get it. Like, it's the same thing as One Piece fans where they say, hey, just get through the first 400 episodes. I don't want to get to that to be watching a good anime. It should be good from the beginning.
Yeah.
And if you isolate Neon Genesis, I can understand that it might be hard to be like, oh, I'm so fully invested in this story, you know? So
Yeah, like getting into it, you got like episode 1 where it's like, oh god, the angels have finally returned, right?
Yep.
It's like angels, I don't know what they are. I still don't know what they are. Basically these like alien life form things that just want to destroy mankind. That's all we know.
Yes.
That's all we freaking know. And the only way to fight them, like man-made weaponry, does nothing to them.
Yeah.
I don't understand, for some reason, every time an angel appears, hey, let's shoot missiles at it. Let's shoot guns at it. We know it's not going to work, but let's just do it.
Dude.
Bro, stop wasting your money.
The classic. I love that argument, though.
I'm like, dude, guys, just stop. Like, they have N2 mines, which are just like the nukes, basically.
They're just nukes.
They
Nuke 2, yeah.
They do nothing, guys.
Yep.
Stop wasting money doing this. But like, so the only way to fight these angels, you got to pilot the organic mechs.
Yep.
The Evangelions, dude.
Yep. I like them just throwing in for some reason, like you said, 10 seconds every episode of like, let's just pepper it with machine gun fire as if it's going to do anything. And it never does. So the mechs come in and they're organic based on the like anatomy of angels, kind of.
Yeah, they're just using what like the angels like body composition is. I don't know, man.
Yeah, they never really explain how they made it.
Yeah, so like Nerve is basically like a subset, like branch of the government that specializes in like, you know, angel combat.
Yep.
So, but the thing is, the only people who can like pilot these mechs, these Avas, are basically kids.
Yeah, the children. Yep.
The children.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool that each pilot is called first children, second child,
second child. Yeah.
Yeah, the dub said children. I'm like, why don't you just say child?
Yeah, I mean, the sub definitely says child. I think, like, sometimes they'll be like, oh, this is the first child or something. But, like, it does flip-flop back and forth.
Yeah. So, basically, we get Shinji, small little...
Shinji Ikari.
Small little kid who's, like, you know, recluse. He doesn't talk much. Very shy and everything.
I thought you were going to call him a cuck, and I was like,
little
we can't do that. He's a fucking
Shinji.
kid. No, don't call him a cuck. He's a kid, yep.
Yeah, so he gets picked up by Misato, and he's stuck. They're basically in the middle of an angel attack, so he gets picked up by Misato and just gets sent to, like, Nerve HQ.
Yeah, because his dad was like, hey, I actually don't give a shit about you, and I never cared about you in your entire life, but, like, you've been living with other people for a while. I need you to come back. And then he doesn't even pick him up himself. He sends his little like errand girl Misato to go pick him up in the middle of an angel attack, a fucking alien invasion.
Yeah, and he's basically the commander of Nerve, and he's just like, Shinji, I need you.
Yep.
Get in the robot.
Shinji, pilot the Ava. Yeah, it's like,
and to be honest, this kid has the most normal reaction. Yeah. He's like, I have to fight that fucking angel
in that thing. He's never seen an Ava before.
Yeah,
he's like this is
first
new
time.
To him. He's like, what the fuck is happening?
Damn, this kid's really put through the ringer. He hasn't seen his dad in 3 years.
Yeah,
get in the goddamn robot, Shinji.
Yeah, his dad's got one glove on and is wearing sunglasses, and he never takes them off.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, freaking Shinji gets in the robot.
Of course, what else would you do?
And fights the angel, but he gets his ass handed him.
I think
to him on the silver platter.
I think he gets his like arm snapped, and then he also gets his fucking head bashed in. If I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, yep. Eye, arm, everything.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, like, you know, after he gets thrashed, and like, you know, the power runs out of the Ava, it just goes berserk. Yeah,
the Avas are organic, even though they need a battery source for some reason, but they are organic. So the Ava itself, Ava Unit 1, I guess in protection of Shinji, because Shinji is basically dead inside of the Ava.
Yeah.
Came to the rescue and went fucking berserk. And everybody, you love the army fighting for no reason.
I don't like it. It's just a waste.
I love every single time an Ava goes berserk or does something that they are like, oh my God, what is happening?
Like, Nani?
They're just like, meh. That's weird. And then they keep using them. They're like, holy shit, this Ava's running without power. That shouldn't be fucking happening.
Right?
How's it going berserk? It fucking grew its arm back and its eye. Oh, we've experienced the Ava's true nature. Hey, Shinji, can you get back in the Ava?
Okay. The day continues.
Yeah. What the fuck? Like, you guys have been building these Avas for fucking years. And all of a sudden it goes berserk, runs without power, has a fucking mind of its own, life set. You can't see the vitals of the pilot. And you're like, whoops.
I guess that's normal.
What the fuck? Anyways,
yeah, that is definitely a plot point that, like, you know, watching him, like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. And it happens multiple times. So it's like, we aren't going to figure this out.
Yeah,
we're good.
So I do love when the Avas go berserk.
They look sick.
It just looks sick. It's actually like scary too.
My favorite still shots from the anime is when the Avas go berserk and the mouth opens.
Yeah, the mouth opens.
And you see the jaw and the teeth from the Ava.
And they're breathing heavy. Yeah. It's like, God damn, dude.
Yeah, it's the first time, and they show it early, and they don't really show it other times. But when we view Evas, you think of like the mechs or the purple or the yellow and white or the red and white. To kind of just like, that's the mech. We think of it as a mech and like that's it. But then this is the first time that they really even mention, and the only time almost, and that you see that it's like organic underneath. You're seeing like flesh and skin and an eye, and like you see those things and you realize that the thing that we think is the skin, usually like the purple or the yellow or that, is just like the container. Like it's the glass jar and there is flesh underneath, and it does look crazy when it goes berserk.
Looks goddamn cool.
Yeah.
And then Shinji wakes up. It's like, oh, what happened?
Yeah.
Hey guys, I don't remember.
The fucking one thing that's like etched into my memory is he always wakes up in the hospital beds.
Yeah, he's
staring at the white ceiling.
He's like, another roof that I don't know.
Yeah, he's like fucking classroom of the elite. Like, yes, a white room. Yes, back to the white room we go.
Yeah, he's like, great, okay, yeah, that's my life.
And then it's always the noise, and I think they're cicadas.
The cicada, yeah,
the cicadas, and it's always that like like noise coming through every single fucking time he wakes up, and I can't not. When I hear that sound, I think of that room. Like I think of waking up.
They did a really good job with that. Yeah, and then he basically after that he's basically a Nerve pilot.
Yep, all of a sudden
he works for Nerve now, and he lives with Misato.
Yep,
and
Pen,
and then we also get introduced to Rei. Pilot 0
Rei Ayanami.
For Unit 0, Rei Ayanami.
The first child.
Yeah, and she's the first child. Shinji's the third.
Yep. Who's the second?
Who's the second? Who knows? But Rei is just basically quiet. Like literally like a doll. Like she does nothing.
Yeah, she
obeys orders. That's it.
Very soft spoken. Loves Shinji's dad kind of weirdly. Yeah. And at the beginning she thinks Shinji's kind of a little bitch because Shinji doesn't like his dad very much. Yep. You know, there's that dynamic going on.
Yeah, and then when I was watching the anime, I was like, I kind of forgot. Like, there was actually a lot of like slice of life moments in it.
Yes.
And then it became kind of like, ooh, we're fighting. Like, it's like a Monster of the Week episode.
Yep.
Like an angel would invade and then be like, oh, we gotta deal with it. And then it basically being contained in like one episode. It actually followed the episodic storyline.
Yeah, I enjoy that. Like you said, like there's a slice of life aspects, because as much as we talked about in prior things, it's like a fantasy fucking sci-fi, like action horror almost, like in certain things. Yeah, but these are still literal children just trying to like do children shit. Like they're just trying to go to school and like fall in love. Yeah,
you see him in school, you see him like living at Misato's place, and then like because he tells everybody at school that he's like the pilot, they ask him. Yeah, he gets freaking everyone is like, oh my god, he's the pilot, this is crazy. And then there's other people who like resent him because like, dude,
he's not doing a good
enough job. When you went berserk, you like destroyed like so many buildings and you hurt so many civilians, so he gets beat up and everything.
Yeah, he gets beat up by one of his friends that he ends up being friends with after this, which is Toji. Yep. And Toji's sister was hurt in the first interaction.
Yeah, first battle.
Yeah,
with that angel that we saw.
Him and the angel, and he obviously is pissed off, saying, "Why didn't you do better?"
But the thing is, like, Toji only sees it from that side, but then we see from Shinji's side, like, dude, he didn't even know.
Yeah, he got thrown in.
Yeah, so
and that was the whole thing where Shinji's like, I didn't even want to be a pilot. Like, he didn't know.
Yeah, there's only so much he could do. So he gets dogged on school too.
Yeah, he does.
But then the next like big thing was I'm gonna skip over a little bit because it's just slice of life and everything. Yeah. The next fight was with an angel that was a giant goddamn like floating diamond. Yep. I think that was like one of the coolest moments where it was just like, see something, just shoots a beam. Yep. And that's it. Yeah, so when Eva 1's doing their launch sequence, comes up,
just instantly.
As soon as he appears on the field, the thing just shoots him right away. Yeah. I'm like, actually, that's so fucking smart.
Yeah, instantly shoots, and then inside the Eva, like where the pilot is filled with a liquid called LCL. Yeah. And interestingly, like the LCL like is meant to like fill your lungs and oxygenate your lungs for you, and like it smells and kind of tastes like blood from what
Yeah.
I remember. And it's so funny because I would never think about this, but the beam that the diamond is shooting out is like a superheated like particle like fucking heat ray basically.
Death ray.
And like, yes, it's burning a hole in the Ava's chest, which is like fucking melting Shinji because he's feeling the pain that the Ava's experiencing. But I also failed to realize until they said that like he's being boiled alive because the LCL is also being superheated to a boiling point. So I'm like, dude, you are getting fucked instantly when you're coming out.
It's just pretty cool because they have this whole like cool launch sequence every single time like, an angel comes up. Boom, done.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know what? I was like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But at the same time, oh shit, guys.
Yeah.
But like the way they deal with this angel is because it has like a huge like shield, which is an AT field.
Yep.
I don't even know what AT field means.
AT fields, I forget what the actual like acronym stands for, but it's basically a field that all living matter has, and the angels have learned to like control it to have a stronger AT field, and that's why standard weapons don't work because they're not living, so they don't have an AT field to counter the angels AT field, and that's why we went with the Avas, because the Avas can kind of counter or produce their own because they're organic material.
Yeah, and basically the way to like deal with this angel is because it attacks anything within its range.
Yep.
So what they do is like they have this high frequency powered goddamn giant fucking rifle.
It's a fucking railgun. It's just a railgun.
It's a railgun. And they're like, shit, man. What we're going to do is we're going to snipe it from afar.
Yeah, from outside the
from
angel's
outside
range.
its range.
Yeah.
So they're on like a goddamn mountain
Yep.
from goddamn miles away.
Yeah.
And like, how do we power this? Okay, I guess we got to use all the electricity in Japan.
Yep. Yep.
So they hook it up with all the electricity. It's so cool. So then like I think what they do is they have to fire like a few shots. Or no, one shot.
They have one shot.
They have one shot, but at the same time, for fear of retaliation from the angel, they have a shield.
Ray
is the shield.
In her Ava.
Ava Unit 0 is the shield. Ava Unit 1 is the sniper. And goddamn, it is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
He shoots, but at the same time, the angel is like, wait a second, shoots back.
Yeah.
And then you see the bullets like kind of like go graze by each other, but because of, I don't know, like how strong or powerful they are, they kind of like warp each other's path and they both miss.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh shit. Damn it. That like we only got one shot. Okay, we got another one.
Yeah.
But then the thing is like the angel is like, okay, I'll just shoot again.
Yep.
And then you see Ray shielding the next blow, and it's so cool.
Yep.
And then, you know, last second, Shinji fires the second shot, destroys the angel.
Yeah, and the shield that Ray's using is like leftover spaceship parts from like being able to like come back in through orbit, so it's like superheated, proper protection against it, and it still gets fucking melted away.
That thing was so cool.
Yeah.
Like I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ray gets boiled alive, but at that point, when they defeat the angel, Ray's Ava goes down, and Shinji hops out of his Ava and then goes to basically get Ray out of her Ava because obviously she's in danger and he wants to save her. And at this point, this is where we get some flashbacks, and basically same thing happened where when Ray was testing her Ava went berserk, but not in a good, cool way. It just started bashing its own head into the wall, and Ray ejected, but was stuck in the like plug, and Shinji's dad, Geto, is that his name? Geto?
Yeah, Geto.
Yeah, Geto.
Geto? I don't know.
Yeah. He went in and saved Ray.
Yeah.
Like burned his hands because the plug was like super hot, and burned his hands and like saved Ray. And now obviously we're seeing the mimicking of like Shinji doing the same thing. And this is where like Ray starts being like, okay, like, no, Shinji's all right.
Yeah, Shinji,
he's okay.
You're okay in my books.
He's okay. Even though he hates his dad, and I love his dad. He's
you're okay in my books.
Okay, fine, sure. So that's kind of what happens there.
But like most of the angel fight scenes, they're all goddamn so cool. They're all pretty iconic, I would say. And then like I think like I'm just skimming over it. The next like big fight would be whatchamacallit? I would say like when you see Asuka, when you get introduced to the next child.
Yep.
The second child.
The second child. The German child.
The German child.
Yeah.
Just a super self-confident,
Bratty
bratty
fucking
girl
bitch,
that's like,
yeah.
you know, can do everything right.
Yeah.
Her Ava looks cool though.
Yeah, the red and white sick.
Yeah, the red and white.
Yeah.
Like Shinji's purple, Rei's like, I don't know, like yellow.
Yellow or orange.
Yeah, and Asuka's is red.
Yep.
God damn, it looks so cool. And
It looks sick.
Yeah, and they're basically fighting an angel underwater.
Yep.
And it's a little like zany and wacky.
Yep.
So they use like a cable to like fish it out.
Yeah.
But then at the same time they use all these like ships to like drag it into the angel's mouth and just shoot at its core.
Mm-hmm.
It's so freaking cool.
Yeah, they literally just pile drive a ship into its mouth and just unleash all the torpedoes into the angel's core, which is the only thing that kills the angel.
Mm-hmm.
But again, as we're talking about, why do like regular torpedoes work all of a sudden?
Because these ones got past the AT field.
I guess so.
There was not much consistency with this.
But yeah, I think.
I remember. It's because like what happened was when Asuka's Ava unit basically got eaten, but it was holding the mouth open and it pried open its AT field.
Oh, it ripped through.
It ripped through the AT field, and the ships came in and shot at its core.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair. I'll accept
that. I remember that.
It's a little inconsistent,
it
but
makes
I'll
sense.
accept it.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I think for me, the next big fight is when all three of them kind of get together, and they have to catch the angel that's coming down.
Oh yeah, there's a freaking angel that's in space.
Yeah,
and like
it's just being a meteor.
Yeah, it's also like kind of just dropping.
Yeah,
like bombs.
Yeah,
and like you can't do anything.
No, its way of destroying humans, which is usually what the angels want to do, is just coming in from space and landing and basically like dinosauring us. Like they're just
it's literally on a kamikaze attack and just gonna fall from the sky and just explode.
Yes, it's meant to basically just destroy us through impact, and the three children have to catch it midair.
Yeah, they're like we have no idea how to counter this. Yeah. Here's a like 0.001% chance of success. Yeah, catch it, man. You gotta do your thing.
They don't have the exact landing zone, so they run all in different directions until the landing zone is like pinpointed as it's coming down. And like this is the first time you see like the super speed that the Avas run at.
It's so cool.
They're like creating shockwaves as they're running like through the sound barrier, and they're like destroying buildings just by running and shit. Like it's fucking sick.
Yeah, so like I think it was Shinji who was like, okay, I got over here.
Yeah.
Like he's using his AT field and then everyone just converges and you just see how fast they fucking go. Like it's insane.
Yeah. And then they hold it as it's coming down and one of them has to like stab.
Like pry the AT field open and stab it.
And then is that the one where the core is moving like this? And the fucking I think so, Asuka's like, I can't fucking hit it.
It's like God damn it.
Yeah. It's like a fucking mole game. Like, oh God. But I think that was probably the next and like the hypest fight for me. Yeah. I think.
And like while all these like, you know, episodes are going on, there's also like backstory that's like, you know, being played out, like how like the Avas like came to fruition, everyone's backstories and like kind of what Adam is and like
the
Lilith.
Adams and the Lillans. Yeah.
At the same time, like I was still this was my rewatch and I was like still fucking confused. Like, what the fuck is going on?
And if you don't want to do the research, there are lots of YouTube
like
videos and stuff like that out there that like kind of explain it. And if you want us to do it and give you the shit rundown that we understand it for, we'll do the research and let us know and we'll do that. But
you also get introduced to the Lance of Longinus.
Yeah, the Lance of Longinus. Yeah,
freaking cool.
I think what the original like Spear of Longinus is the one that killed Christ or something.
Yeah, like the Spear of Destiny, basically.
Yeah. So they introduced that, and they're like,
there's a lot of religious aspects to this.
Yeah, I mean angels in the first place, right? Yeah. But they kind of go through, and in this, you kind of get the idea that Nerve or Sele, which is like the Illuminati behind Nerve, like it's like this weird,
the heaven body.
Yeah. They're kind of commanding things in this way, and they keep basically referencing this human instrumentality project. And you kind of get that that's where they're going to go, even if nobody wants to go that way except them. And for some reason, the Avas and Angels are pivotal for this instrumentality project.
Yeah, you like in the very beginning of the show, you get introduced to like what the second impact is. It's basically a giant like cataclysmic explosion that happened in the Arctic.
Yeah.
That just fucked the whole entire world.
Yeah, it turned the seas red, and it fucking like wiped out like
everything is like always like sunny. Like it's always summer in Japan.
Yeah.
And then like what they're doing is like, hey guys, you know, these angels, they're here to cause the third impact, so let's try and stop them. But then in actuality, they actually want this third impact to happen.
Yeah.
Because the human instrumentality project, they want it so the third impact happens, so then humans can evolve.
Yeah.
Past that, it's just like,
yeah,
Jesus Christ, what is going on?
And then like
we're being fed through this information throughout the episodes.
Yeah, but you have no idea. You have no fucking clue. And all you know is that like Geto, like Shinji's dad, really misses his wife Yui, and Yui's dead, and he's just like, he'll like look off in the distance, and he's like, "I'll see you again, Yui." Yeah. And like he just says that shit to himself, and like, this shouldn't have happened this way, Yui. And she's dead. Like so you get the idea that he's just trying to see her however he can. Mm-hmm. And I think everything they reference is like, oh, this is all according to the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah, I'm like,
what the fuck?
They kept saying like, oh, this is according to the Dead Sea Scrolls. Like, I'm like, what is that?
They never talk about what the fuck the Dead Sea Scrolls are. You kind of just get the idea that they're like these prophecies, or this prophecy that is like coming to fruition, and they're like, no, that tracks with this point, this bullet point on the Dead Sea Scrolls, and like, yeah, we're getting there, and like, it's like laid out the future for us somehow or something.
And then like they would always say, like, Seely's not going to be happy with this.
Yeah.
And then like, when I watched it, I'm like, who the fuck is Seely? Yeah. Like, what is this?
Yeah. And then they're like, they say everything is going according to plan all the time.
What plan?
And then they also say, man, the timing of this Ava unit, or like this Ava unit being destroyed for the budget or whatever it is, it's being delayed. Motherfucker, everything is going according to plan. How do you mean that the fucking repairs are delayed? It's going according to fucking plan. And like, they're like, oh, it's going to cost us like, you know, $500 million more in budget.
Yep.
I don't know if we can afford that. What the fuck do you mean afford that? This is a fucking life or death situation for the world. There's no affording. Like, just fucking put it up there.
Yep.
And just go for the Dead Sea Scrolls, whatever they are. And anyway, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and as all this is happening, like the episodes are going on, Shinji's having a goddamn crisis.
Yep.
Like identity crisis, and
mental fucking
goes through everything, and then Asuka starts having a mental crisis because she's not doing too well, and basically she's a very prideful girl, so she's going through identity crisis. Yep. Ray at one point sacrifices herself to stop an angel, so she's dead. Yeah. Everyone's like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening?
But then she's back alive. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Like she sacrifices herself, and the next day she's like, oh, just kidding, I'm in an arm cast, I'm actually alive.
Yeah, I'm okay, it's fine. Yeah. And like we're skimming over a lot of things. But there are other things
we're skimming over things, but at the same time, we just like, as the episodes pile on, you just get so much shit jam packed. Like, it's literally like how we're describing it to you is how it's played on the anime.
Yeah, this is the anime. So again, like I said earlier, if you want us to do a full in-depth, we will be here for fucking 2 hours recording a full in-depth video of the story of Evangelion and like what happens, why it happens, what things are that they don't explain in the anime. We'll do that. Right now, we're just talking about the anime. And the anime doesn't make fucking sense unless you do the research. Like, it is crazy, okay? So
I will say the next coolest moment for me was when there was another angel that was coming in space.
Another angel. That's crazy.
Another angel that was from space. But this one was, I think I mixed up with the other one. This one was actually just dropping bombs.
Yeah, this one's just dropping.
It's aiming for missiles. Nerve HQ. But okay, at the same time, all these angels, they're all making their way to Nerve HQ.
Yeah.
For some reason, they just know, like, go to Nerve HQ, like, just infiltrate it.
Yeah.
So this one's basically kind of like dropping bombs, like, in the water. And, like, it's getting closer and closer to the HQ. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, God, it's actually pinpointing where we are.
Yeah.
It's just, like, you know, learning as it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So because it's in space and it's not dropping like the last one, how do we deal with this?
Yeah.
The only thing that they could use that can reach that far and that can like, penetrate an AT field is to use the Lance of Longinus.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I found the whole entire time when you get introduced to the Lance,
Yep.
it is top secret.
Yep.
Nobody knows what it is except for Sealy and like the high class memos of
Yep.
HQ Nerve. And then they're like, okay, we gotta use it. Take it out. And what they do is they actually like freaking javelin toss it
Yep. All the way into space.
into space through that angel, explodes, right?
Yeah.
And now the Lance of the Longinus is
It's lost in
lost
space.
forever in space.
Yeah.
And then after that, everyone's like, oh yeah, the Lance of the Longinus. Like they just start referencing
they
it
just
in
reference it
normal
all the time.
talk.
It's no longer secret.
Everyone's talking about it. I'm like, guys, like, isn't this like one of the most important items? Like,
like
now,
a relic from the old
now
age.
everyone's talking about like it's like a common day item. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, the Lance is gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like a
okay.
Swiffer.
It's like, oh geez, oh yeah.
Oh, that really sucks.
This means everyone understands what it is. I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah, it's fucking man. The Lands of Longinus was like a weird part of the show that I don't know where it came from, what it's for.
It's cool though.
All I know is it's a weapon and it can stop the angels. And like as we were talking about, they were pinpointing Nerve, and it gets to the aspect, and this is a weird part for me. It gets to be they're pinpointing Nerve because Nerve, and you find this out in the anime, is like hiding like the vessel of the atoms, or like the atom underneath the like Nerve headquarters, which is why they put the headquarters there.
Yeah.
And the angels want to get there, and you basically realize that if the angels get there, it will cause the third impact.
Mm-hmm. If they come into contact
Yeah.
with Adam,
Yeah.
basically.
It will cause a third impact. And now this opens up a couple intriguing things. One, why the fuck do other countries have Evas? If the angels are coming for Adam, it's in Japan.
Yeah.
Why do the Germans have Evas? Why do the Americans have Evas?
Yeah, everyone's building these Ava units.
Yeah. But like, for what? The angels aren't coming to them. They're fucking coming to Japan. I guess to help Japan, but like, then they talk about this treaty and they're like, every country can only have 3 active Avas. What the fuck? What, like,
guys, this is world-ending shit.
Like, fucking send them all to Japan and fucking Pacific Rim this shit and just have everyone there.
The thing is, this is all happening in Japan. Like, guys, like,
yeah,
help a little country out, guys.
What the fuck?
This thing will mess up the world. At least help us out.
It's fucking crazy. Anyways, so the atom is there, and like third impact will happen if they reach the atoms. And basically, the whole point is the angels are trying to get there.
Yeah.
And then some weird convoluted fucking story shit happens, and you find out that like it's not actually Adam that's there, it's Lilith.
Yeah.
And like, or Lilith, sorry. And then Lilith then opens up and is the Lance of Longinus was taken out of Lilith because that's the thing that was like securing her down. And then after a while of her no longer being secured by the lance, she like falls off the cross, which again is another fucking like oddly religious symbolism, and then falls down. And throughout the story you realize Rei is actually a clone, and she's a clone of Yui,
Shinji's mom.
Yeah, Geto's dead wife.
Yeah.
And you also realize that Yui died because when she was creating Ava Unit 1, her soul got merged into the Ava's core. So that's why only Shinji can pilot Ava Unit 1 because it's his mother.
It's basically, Ava Unit 1 is just basically Shinji's mom.
Yeah.
So, like, but you're all learning this in, like, the final episode. You're like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
What is going on?
And that's why, like, he was like, or say Shinji, when he went into Ava, he was like, wow, this feels oddly familiar. And, like, I'm so warm and it's so nice in here. Because it's, like, fucking symbolism for the womb that he was in, like, in Yui. And
it's just weird.
It's just weird. But then because Rei is a clone of Yui, but like without Yui's soul, like she's starting to develop her own things. And then like the Human Instrumentality Project happens. Like it comes to fruition, and that's where we talked about in the anime episode, the weird like mind episodes, which were from the lack of budget, and then like the actual animated movie, which was End of Evangelion, which was the physical representation of what's happening there. The mind things we already talked about in the prior episode, but long story short, Human Instrumentality Project removes borders between people, including flesh. So we just become like an ooze, and all of our mentalities are shared. So you can't be like racist, or you can't be bigoted.
You just become into one being.
You are one, right?
Yeah.
So there's no more, bigotry or anything like that.
There's no more like disparity.
Yeah.
Everybody's the same.
Yeah. And then that's the mind episode. And you go through that through Shinji's mind, and Shinji's like dealing with all his insecurities and like the friends and family around him like shitting on him, but also like loving him, and that he needs to do more and do less, and like he's taking it all on himself. And that's those episodes. Great. But let's talk about the end of Evangelion. Because that was fucking crazy. Yeah, like the movie's insane.
The movie is pretty cool because it had some nice ass action scenes in it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to remember. Asuka, near the end of the anime series,
got heavily injured.
She got heavily injured, and she's basically comatose.
Yep.
And the movie starts off with
one of the fucking roughest
Shinji's
scenes.
Just like, Asuka, wake up, please. I need you and everything.
And he's like crying and like saying like he can't do this alone, like all this shit. But like shaking her around her shoulders until like her tank or like her hospital gown.
Her hospital gown just
slips off.
You see her bosom.
Yeah.
She's like locks the door. And
he's fucking crazy.
I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
And he, you know what he does? He just splooges on her.
He fucking
on his hand, and he's like,
yeah.
He's like, God, I'm like the lowest of the low.
And that's what we're talking about, where he like it was meant to show the fucking absolute low point and degradation that you got to as Shinji in that.
Because like Shinji's just getting dogged on this whole anime series. Like every time it's like he's making all the wrong decisions.
Yeah, nobody's there to care for him. Everybody just fucking hates him or like relies on him, even though they hate him, to like save the world and like all this shit.
Yeah. So like basically this movie is Geto, Shinji's dad, is basically just doing his way of the Human Instrumentality Project.
Yeah.
But then
that he can see Yui again.
So he can see Yui. So he has his own agenda. And then Seely, who wants their own agenda with the project, they're like, hey man, this guy's going off the rails. We're gonna take over from here. Yep. So they basically send a bunch of like their own Ava units that they've been generating,
mass-produced Ava units,
and human soldiers to infiltrate Nerve. So the irony of this whole thing is that like Nerve was basically used to defend against the angels, to protect the humans.
Yeah.
But then at the very end, humans infiltrated Nerve and just destroyed the whole place. So like the humans themselves destroyed Nerve instead of the angels.
Yeah.
So that's ironic.
Yeah. And I think with the whole Lilith thing and the Lilith thing down below, as we were saying, it for some reason merged with Rey, and I think it's because Rey was a clone without a soul. Yeah. So it merged with Rey, but in the development of the whole series and everything, Rey started having feelings for Shinji, which is odd because Rey is a clone of his mother. But like, let's not talk about that for a second.
Yep.
She develops feelings, and basically she turns into what is described online as GNR, which is Giant Naked Rey, because Rey is like the size of the world.
Yep.
And like is basically implementing the Human Instrumentality Project. She is like going through as Lilith and as the Lilin and basically merging them all into one. And then that's kind of where we're getting the idea of like Shinji in the last couple episodes to say like, hey, this is what's going on in his mind. But then GNR is saying to saying to Shinji, this is your choice.
Yeah, for some reason, this guy is getting put through the ringer, and then he has the choice. Hey, do you want to pursue this project?
Yeah,
the Human Instrumentality Project.
Yeah,
or do you want to stop it?
Yeah, and with that, I think it was because it was meant to be that he was at such a low point that he wanted all these differences, all these bias, all this hate, all these things to go away.
Yeah.
So that's why GNR was saying like, hey, this is what you wanted. Because like if we remove all these borders from everybody, there will no longer be hate towards you. There will no longer be any of that.
It was kind of like a selfish decision by him too.
And this is what you want. And he was like, fuck. No, I don't.
So
want
like
this.
you get this whole weird mind. Like, he says yes to the project, right?
Yeah.
The whole big ass change.
Yeah.
You have this weird ass goddamn sequence. Everybody's turning into like liquid.
Yeah. Ooze.
Like some crazy like epilepsy inducing scenery.
Also, right before this, Masato said that she would fuck Shinji, and that's also weird.
Yeah, that's weird too.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, so basically everyone's gone.
Yep.
Everyone's ooze right now.
Yeah.
And then Shinji's like, okay, but like this isn't exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, this isn't what I wanted actually, now that I'm thinking about it for half a second.
Yeah, and then I somehow through I don't know what happened, like willpower or something, or just like he had enough determination
like
to actually
through the human soul or whatever.
Through the human soul, he gets revived.
Yeah.
He no longer is ooze, and same with Asuka.
Yep.
And that's the end of the movie. Right? That's basically it.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Then the movie is basically them on the shore.
Am I misremembering?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Because I just watched I just
Okay.
watched the movie a couple days ago. They just wake up on the shore and that's the end.
Dude, I swear to God, he like reverses instrumentality. He says, "No, I'm good," and it goes back to them waiting at a train station.
Maybe
Is there a different fucking?
For me, it
Okay.
was basically him and Asuka
Yeah,
are now on the shore.
I can envision this scene
and credits. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that's the end of the movie.
Interesting. Okay, so we'll have to watch this. I don't know. Like again, I vividly remember, and I could be fucking wrong. 100%. I haven't watched this in a while. I remember him being like, "No, this isn't what I wanted," and then she's like, "Yeah, it is," and then like it goes through, and then like it gets reverted. Like people go back to being humans.
Damn.
They're at a train station.
That's not what
and
I
shit.
saw, man.
Fuck. Okay, so we got to figure this out.
Okay.
We'll get back on this one.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like Evangelion is very complex, convoluted, and I feel like this whole entire episode, we talked a lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
If someone were to watch this episode and hasn't seen Evangelion, they'd be like, "The fuck is going on?"
Dude, but see, that's what I heard about our Dan episode. I've talked to people that watch that episode, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, I have no fucking clue what you guys
But
were
at the
talking
same time,
about."
it still makes sense. This one, it just, you're like, huh?
Yeah.
Next episode, huh? Next episode, what?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
It doesn't make
what
any
the
fucking
fuck?
sense. No, 100%. I agree with you without a doubt.
It just continues to get more and more complex and complicated. You're like, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we didn't even touch on the movies because the movies is a separate beast.
I haven't actually seen the movies,
Fuck.
so
We'll watch them.
I'm gonna watch them later.
But yeah, that for you, everybody at home, that was the very brief recap
of Evangelion. There's a lot that goes on to it.
Yeah.
You should watch it.
You should watch it and let us know down below what you guys think. If you guys want us to do a full
words can't describe
full
it.
review and full deep dive into the research for you, we will do that. We'll do a 2-hour episode for you.
Yeah.
But until then, that was the Evangelion episode. So, let us know what you think
That's
below.
about it, guys.
And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Later.